Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Running a few minutes late, I apologize. I had a little bit of a running behind morning. Today was the first day since I returned from my trip. Some of you might be aware that I went to the Dominican. Well, when I returned, my son had a newfound independence, and when I dropped him off at daycare, he was confident. And well, today was the first day since I've returned that it was a fight leaving him. So it was, and plus we were running behind to begin with. So I've been, scarfing down my breakfast and trying to get here. Anyway, I hope everyone's doing great and everyone had a great weekend. Today we're going to be talking about just getting started. And what does that mean? That's basically just whatever you're pursuing, whatever you want to do, just taking action. And doesn't matter what the action is, but often what's the one thing that holds us back, and that's fear. I don't think Kat is here quite yet. We'll just give her a few minutes, but I'm just going to get started. So the one thing that holds us back is fear of uncertainty. And if you can be more afraid of the life you're living now, then it makes it easier to move into the life that you're looking for. And I think for me, that was the key factor that took part. A lot of us aren't aware that it's actually fear that's making us not take action and just sit back and contemplate it. So after that, I would say that the number one thing in order to get started is not to overwhelm yourself. We can sit back and we can think about all the steps that we need to take, but often there's too many to comprehend. We let our minds roll on the things that might happen, the possible outcomes or possible challenges that we can run into. But really, there's too many to comprehend. There's too many to even think about. And when we get into that mindset of rolling through the problems and rolling through the challenges that might come our way, then we often get overwhelmed and procrastinate, end up doing nothing. And I can speak firsthand to that. I know that I've been very guilty of that, and some days I still am. I overthink everything, I get overwhelmed, and I do absolutely nothing. And it is the ultimate blocker when it comes to taking action. And the number one thing that needs to be done when you're pursuing any change at all is action. We can think about it all we want, we can dream about it, we can set goals, we can do all the practices and habits, but if we're not taking action, then nothing's going to change. So just give me 1 second here. I'm going to see if I can catch up with Kat. Just going to send her the link again. Thank you for your patience. There we go. So I did take a little bit of notes. But yeah, I basically just covered my notes just because those are the obvious things. But, I am very guilty of this. I am really guilty of wanting something and not doing the work, but not really understanding it, right? Now, when it comes to starting your own business and you've been an employee for years, there's a huge mindset shift that has to happen. And until that happens, you're going to struggle with this. Because as being an entrepreneur, you have no one to look up to, no one to look to for direction. It's up to you. Now, although you might have some people in your life giving you some direction, it's still up to you to take the first step. And that's been a huge shift for me. I've struggled with that quite a bit, actually. So I can definitely relate if you're somewhere like that, in a spot similar. Yeah, it's one of the toughest things, except one of the most important things as well, is taking action, getting started. And that's why I think that the subject was a good one to cover. We might actually even carry on with it. I'm not feeling 100% today. I'm not feeling my top notch, and I'd be lying if I said that I didn't struggle with hopping on this call and doing this. So today's one of those days for me, and we can all relate for that. I think it started, with just kind of being out of schedule with my son, and it makes things really tough to keep track of not only the emotions and how we feel for the day, the side of the bed that we wake up on, but it's getting through those days anyways, having them and pushing through. We have a really important call, Kat and I, with some of our mentors at 10 o'clock, my mountain time, mountain time. And I'm excited because there's going to be some news coming down. I don't know what it is, but we'll see what it is. And yeah, I'm just having one of those days. You can probably tell. But I actually want to recommend a video of Tony Robbins. Let me just find it. It's Take Action, How to Take Action by Tony Robbins. It's an incredible video. So I haven't heard from Kat. She was getting a root canal today. So it's all good. We're just going to carry on. Maybe I'll just tell you a little bit about my struggle with taking action or getting started. I know that I am very guilty for the overwhelming myself, thinking about everything, thinking about all the possible outcomes, sitting back and your mind just spinning. And it's probably the biggest blocker is overwhelm and getting all your questions answered. Like we think that we need to ask 1,000 questions all the time, and we get into this education mode where we're constantly consuming information and knowledge, but we're not actually putting it into action. So we're taught this learn, do, teach philosophy, I guess you could call it. And basically you learn something, you implement it, and then you teach it. And without the teaching part, nothing comes together.